What is one message that you would give to people that don't understand the Black Lives Matter movement?
Put yourself in someone else's shoes. See those black men as your sons, your daughters, and imagine if that happened to your kid. If that was you, would Black Lives matter to you?
People that are against this protest, you should reconsider yourself, because you're actually paying to take away lives, and it's the one thing that you can't get back. And if you're one of those people that's like, all lives matter, it's okay, all lives matter, but all lives don't matter until Black Lives Matter, because if all lives matter, I don't see white people on a day-to-day basis talk about my son never came home.
If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down.
We have a deeply racist history in this country, and it's time that we amend some of those wrongs. I actually think that folks who feel threatened by this should really reconsider what they feel threatened by, because this is a very humanitarian cause that the rest of the world seems to understand, that is empowerment and respect for Black life.
Open your mind and listen to these people's experiences, especially just listen to the stories of the families. To me, they're at the center of this. They're the moral heartbeat of this worldwide movement.
He died in that hallway. With his eyes on the back of his head, he was already gone. They shot him in the abdomen and the groin.
You never know. You never know. You could just be an innocent person there, and all of a sudden you find yourself in the middle of something that you never imagined could happen to you or your child. It can happen to anybody.
When people protest against just Black people mattering, that is really, it makes me feel as though I'm not a true citizen, and it makes me feel like they don't believe that I really fully belong here, and I do.
If you're going to fight against people that are fighting against injustice, and obvious injustice, you're not for United States. No matter how patriotic you claim to be, you're just not doing what a true patriot would do. I've served, my family has served for generations upon generations, and my family has been on the side of slavery. I mean, why aren't you listening?
This is not about just the country, it's about the world. And US needs to be better, because we are always advertising diversity, and we're not doing enough to own up for this. So we need to be better as a whole.
I think a lot of folks are comfortable as long as they're safe, as long as their immediate are safe, as long as me and mine are safe. We want to be safe too, but we're not allowed to do that. And that's because your silence and your unwillingness to get out on the streets with us and get out of your comfort zone continues to put us in the danger zone.
You've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. You should be listening more than you're speaking right now. And I think ideally the best thing that you can do is listen to people of color. Don't expect them to educate you. Go out there, find resources, educate yourselves, lean into discomfort, have those very challenging conversations.
We need to listen to understand, not to respond. Listen to understand.
Be open to starting conversations and not winning anything.
We are talking about the ideas of Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter. We are not saying that Black lives matter more or that any lives matter less, but we are talking about a system that does believe and has shown that it does not take Black lives into account the same way that it takes other lives, especially those in proximity to whiteness.
All lives matter. I don't give white, Black, Chinese, Puerto Rican, Japanese, or whatever. Just why would it take for that man to die to bring us together?
All lives can't matter until Black lives matter. And we never said that all lives don't matter. We only said that our lives matter, and we want to make sure that these racist cops know that our lives matter. And if you try and come after us again, we will continue to protest, we will continue to be out here, and you will be in jail just like those 4 cops that murdered George Floyd are.
As a society, every problem we faced, our solution has been police. And it hasn't worked. We're still facing these issues. Our crime rates are still high.
When you see people being murdered on television, there isn't really a discussion there. There's no discussion.
It's time to make a change. People just need to get up off their couch. I understand that sometimes change is different, but I challenge everyone to try to open up and do new things and try new things and get out of that uncomfortability. Because when you're a black person in this world and you're just trying to walk around and just without being bothered, that right there is uncomfortable for us, because those are the same people that we're supposed to ask for protection.
I've seen a lot of articles out there about this being a terrorist organization. And to me, I think these people shouldn't be ashamed for standing up for people's lives who are being taken by the hands of someone else. If all lives matter, then why don't Black lives matter? You understand? So white people out there don't really feel like this weight that's carried with them. I feel the weight that's carried with me all the time. When I'm walking down the street, or when I walk by cops here, I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I have to smile at them so they know that like I'm not a violent person, or I won't fit into their stereotypes of what I look like to them.
I am light-skinned. However, my friends are mainly black and brown. But at the end of the day, I have a privilege. I don't have to worry when I walk down the street because of the color of my skin. So black and brown folks have to live with that trauma. We never said only Black Lives Matter, but Black lives, they live with fear, and they should not have to live and be considered like a threat. They need to have the freedom just like everybody else.
All lives matter, but sometimes to some white people, our Black lives do not matter to them. I came here for a change.
Every person, no matter what you've been taught, has a right to live and to breathe. And if you don't see that, and if you don't know it and believe in it, then you're not living life either.
It's still time to change. It's not, everyone is welcome along the movement, and everyone is in a different place in their journey with this movement. But I do believe that those folks who don't understand or who are anti just really need to ask themselves why, and then to seek some education around the things that they believe and how those ideas might be challenged.